Okay, so I did a pretty big project here, and this is a big white oak 8/4 inch table. It's about 110 inches long, about 40 inches wide. I just did a little bit of a water pop on it and a little sanding, light sanding. I'm going to go up to about 120 to 220 grit, depending on how I feel it feels. I'm at 120 right now after the water pop, so I'm probably going to go up a little bit. It's feeling pretty smooth, but I feel a couple little high spots here and there. So I'm also going to throw some mineral oil on it too, just to see, give it a preview how it's going to look with the Osmo Poly-X with the mineral oil after it dries. So this was a challenging project. I don't have my table saw. My table saw went on me, so everything was done with the track saw. A little bit of jointure for some of the base parts, which will be a separate video probably, and the planer. A couple things with the circular saw and miter saw too, but 90% of this project was done with the track saw and some tracks. Since it's 110 inches long, I had to go buying 2 tracks. My shop's a mess right now because I'm doing a huge project for a restaurant, so I'm building about, I think, 15 tables. They're going to be a little smaller than this, thank God. But this is all white oak, 8/4. Was rough cut, real rough, and not a lot of it was straight. So I'm just going to finish this. The seams came together great for a track saw. Now I did cut them down to smaller pieces, about 5-6 inches wide, so I could handle it, manage it better in the planer. I couldn't run through my jointer. I have a benchtop jointer, which was not going to work with this. So I had to run everything through the planer, and I also used the hand planer. A lot of sanding too, but most of this was done, just like I said, with the track saw. 90% of this project. So it's kind of a boring looking project, but it was a very big challenge, and it proves that you could do work without a table saw. Now I wouldn't recommend that. Table saw would have made this a lot easier, even though I don't like running big slabs like this through my table saw. But when I manage them a little better, 6 inches wide, go to the table saw 10 feet is not as bad with the length, because I can handle the length. It's just the depth if it's not straight, because I can't get a real good straight edge with the joiner with this long of wood. So I'm going to just I'll throw a little mineral oil on it while I'm working when I talk. I just want to get a little preview how it's going to look. I'm going to flip this over later to the bottom, do the same thing on the bottom. This is the top. Actually, either side could be one or the other, but both sides look really good. Let's see how it looks with the mineral oil. See how it has a nice sheen, this white oak. It almost gives it a red oak look. Yeah, that looks good. I'm just going to rub this in a little bit just to see how it starts to come out. Even though I am going to probably sand a little bit more. I just want to see how this looks. I might sand this off, this little spot here. I just want to see how this grain looks. Yeah, it looks good. With the Poly-X, that will really pop and give it a little protection. So this is going to be a centerpiece of this restaurant, coffee shop. This was a lot of work, a lot of heavy lifting. Was not easy, so I technically can't pick this up by myself right now, so I usually need help. I'm trying to flip it over by myself later if I can't get help, because I don't want to drop it and break it at this stage, because I'm almost done. It's got to do the base. I'm waiting for the table saw for the base, because I want to get it's going to be a slab base, so and it's only 30 inches high, so table saw will definitely make that easier to cut thinner slices with shorter pieces like that rather than the track saw. Track saw is not as good for that. Is wider boards. So yeah, this came out good. The seams are pretty tight. You really have to look to see them. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 right here, and they came out pretty nice. My shop's, like I said, it's a mess right now. I'm going to try to avoid doing big projects in the future until I get a better system or a bigger shop. But this was, a returning customer, so I decided to do it. So that's about it. So I didn't have a table saw, like I said. The video will be based on that, working with the track saw. Hopefully when I start doing the base part, I will have the table saw back, which will be a little more realistic. I wouldn't recommend doing a project this big without a table saw, but it can be done when you're in a bind. I'm still waiting for DeWalt to bring the saw back to me or call me. It's been going for almost 2 weeks now, a week and a half. So, but we're going to Easter weekend, so I'm sure I'm not going to get it back sometime next week if I'm lucky. So that's where we're at. So this project will be, this video will be based on that. Just bear with me with the repetitive track saw cuts. I score everything, then cut it, and it's just the way I had to do it for this project. And it's a realistic thing. You could have done the same thing, but with a circular saw and a straight edge. Wouldn't have been as easy. I wouldn't recommend that, but you could do it. And I've done in the past, got straight edges with circular saws and straight edges. But I know the track, the guides are straight, so I don't have to worry about finagling straight edge boards and levels and stuff like that. So that's about it. So I'm gonna put some finish on this. I might do a little more sanding, but this top is coming out really nice. It's real heavy. It's real thick. It's just under 2 inches thick now with all the sanding and running through the drum sander and everything. I went down with my friend Logs and Lumber, Earl, who's a fellow woodworker, not too far from me. We worked together on a lot of projects, and I used his drum sander, which was a lifesaver when this was in 2 pieces before I joined up the final glue up the other day. So, all right, so that's about it. We're going to continue cleaning this up, and we'll have a whole video for this. If you want to watch, it'd be great. If you have any questions, let me know. Comment.